Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Dohm Speed Shop. On this episode, we're going to go through my top 5 reasons why you shouldn't modify your daily driver. Let's check it out. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dohm Speed Shop. I'm Nick, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. On this episode, we're going to go through my top 5 reasons why you shouldn't modify your daily driven vehicle. Alright, so my first reason on this list would be, you really got to figure out, is the car you're buying a project car or a daily driver? Because, as we all know in the car community, sometimes those two get confused. You might think the 2009 GTO, 2008, yeah, 2008 was last year, GTO. You might think that GTO, Chevy Caprice, Dodge Charger, nice daily driver. Or are you buying it as a project with intentions of Hellcat swapping, quadruple turboing, 3 superchargers, Mad Max spikes? You get the picture. Sometimes you really gotta break it down to yourself if it's a project car or if it's a daily driver. And sometimes it gets muddy. Once you've established it's a project car, this whole video doesn't apply to. I'll make a separate video for that. Once you've established your daily driver, continue with the list. Now, the second reason is resale value. Keep in mind, when you modify a car, 90% of the time, you're not getting all that money back out of the car that you put into the car. It's a project car, once again, doesn't apply, money pit. But if it's your daily driver, you could be even hurting the resale value. Say if it's a brand new vehicle, you just took out a loan on it. Now all of a sudden you got a full Flowmaster exhaust from the header back. No 2 sensors for some reason, now you can't pass emissions. And sometimes that can be impacted by insurance if they find out you modified it. How would they modify it? Get in an accident, they go look at it and say, why is all this done to it? Snowball effect happens pretty quick sometimes. Ask me how I know. And despite what we think in the car community sometimes, the upgraded parts do not increase the resale value. Doesn't matter how nice the part sometimes, just doesn't add anything to it. So if it's a $20,000 Acura to begin with, it's still a $20,000 Acura. Doesn't matter if you have twin turbos on it. Yeah. My next point is stock replacement versus the aftermarket replacement. Sometimes in your daily driver, you'll be tempted to do something like, say, a cold air intake when your stock air filter is dirty. Because the itching temptation of, I already got to tear it apart, I can get better performance on my daily driver by putting a cold air intake on it. And yeah, sometimes you can if you have the right cold air system made for the car, not the AutoZone cone on your stock air tube. How many of us have done that? Sometimes that stock filter filtrates a lot better than the AutoZone Spectra air filter that you haphazardly threw together. Sometimes the OEM parts are going to outlast that performance part a lot better, just because the durability testing has been gone through and the part was made for that engine. Point number 4 would definitely be reliability issues. Sometimes when you're putting all these aftermarket parts on the car, eBay specials, the Amazon specials, AutoZone specials, they don't play nice with the factory components. Sometimes they'll give you check engine lights that you can't get rid of because of your, we'll say, MSD ignition coil, something like that. And sometimes the aftermarket parts aren't made to the same quality standards as the factory parts. Say you get a no-name sensor off eBay, it might work for a couple weeks, but you might be out hour away from home, go to crank up the car to leave a friend's house, car doesn't start because the no-name box part decided, no, we're not playing today. And that becomes more headaches than if you just spent the full X amount, got the right part, put the right part on the car. A little bit of a segue, but my point. Now my last point on this, kind of an old man complaint on my end from having a couple modified cars and driving more than an hour, and things start to bug you, such as noise. You put that real cool exhaust on it. It's cool for around town when you're hanging with your buddies and all that, going to car meets. But let me tell you, when you drive 2 hours or something, the drone really starts to wear you out. Sometimes if you got some aftermarket speakers in your doors or something, you didn't put the foam in there like should have been in there, the rattling will start to wear you out. Certain noises on long road trips, once you've modified your car, it just makes the car unpleasant and becomes less of a daily and slowly starts working towards that project car category. Car still drives for now, but it's no longer the I can drive anywhere car. It'll start to wear you down. Now, you younger guys out there, you won't notice this as much. I didn't notice it for a while until like my mid-20s. That started to set in. I just prefer a nice quiet car for long drives. Now, honorable mention the whole list. I'll do an honorable mention style, but it's not really. It's a pro, less of a con than the rest of the video. I've done on my daily drivers some driver upgrades. I've done LED headlights. I know that's hit or miss with some cars, some people's opinions. I do LEDs just because I like to see. And LED reverse lights. I don't do the tail lights because if your tail light shares a turn signal, it messes with the turn signal sometimes. Sometimes you have to put a resistor in there to modify how the signal goes through your turn signal. Sometimes it's trial and error and I just don't feel like doing it. But reverse lights, hands down, great thing to do. So you can see when you're backing up. I got a longer driveway and I back my truck in everywhere I go. I think the only other mod I would still do on cars is if you upgrade the radio from a higher trim package. Say if you got base model truck and you find the radio out of the upper scale trim, if you're able to swap that in, go from the push button to a touchscreen, sometimes that's a nice upgrade that usually works out pretty well if you're going OEM to OEM. I'm sure somebody out there has done it, doesn't work, and they'll correct me in the comments, but that's my opinion on it. Alright guys, that's been my top 5 reasons why not to modify your daily driven vehicle. If you guys got other opinions on it, drop it down in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And until next time, this is Nick from the Dohm Speed Shop.